Ingress Agent, I am Das Boot here. Today I will be starting a tutorial series on iitc Mobile. What iitc is, it's an unofficial version of the Intel map with enhanced flexibility to customize your map viewing experience. Now, I will put this disclaimer out there. It is an unofficial application and an unofficial mod to the Intel map. So use at your own risk. With that being said, let's go ahead and open her up. Okay, you're greeted by that little iitc splash screen. It loads on in. I have recently reset my iitc so that way it's, bone stock. This is the way it comes default. And as you can see, there's no map. Okay. In here, with this tutorial today, I'm going to be going over the general overview of the user interface, along with general functionality for the basics. So if we swipe from the right panel, it'll come up here. We'll have highlights, which we'll go over more in future tutorials, because right now there's nothing there. Now we have base layer, so we can come down here and we can change from map box street, which is the default, to the Google default ingress map, or the map of your likings. Yes, if you want to use just a standard Google map, you can do that. Alright, so you can go, you see here, I'm using just the standard Google Roads map, or if you prefer to use the standard ingress default map, you have that as an option as well. Since that's what most people are used to seeing, that's what we'll go ahead and go with for these tutorial sessions. Alright, so as you can see here, there's really nothing too different right now to the Intel map. So we'll start off initially, before we go any further into the actual Intel map in and of itself. Let's go ahead and just dive into the settings for a second. So we tap the three little tabs, come down here to settings. If you want to see where you're at on the map, you can do that up here with the display user locations. You can put a manual zoom control so you don't have to do the pinches. The iitc full screen mode. So the forced desktop mode, that says there, nice for tablets, looks awful on smartphones. So if you're on a standard cell phone, it's probably not something you'll be using. You have the plugins, which we'll be diving into more in future installments. I'll do one where I kind of generally touch on all of them, and then some of them I may lump together in episodes. Others I may sit there and cover, just maybe one or two, or maybe just one in an episode, depending on what it is and how in-depth that particular plugin can be. So your force HTTPS. So I've never had any issues with it, so I've always left it enabled. You can enable it, have it enabled, or disable it if you're having issues. So your next tile here is just basically where is it going to store its information. And then if you, under normal circumstances, hitting back once will exit. You can prevent that by enabling this option for the press back twice to exit. If you just want to sit there and find out where you're at, but not zoom in all the way, which is the default that it'll do, you can enable this option. And then you have your advanced, which we'll go into in a future episode. Alright, now let's go ahead and head down to a little bit higher area for a little bit more portal density here for some examples. Alright, here we go. Wichita, Kansas. I believe, yeah, this is the area of Old Town we're looking at here. And as you can see, you've got all the ingredients for the standard Intel map. You have some enlightened portals, resistance portals. Now, your orange portals are your neutral portals, whereas on the standard Intel map, they're gray. As far as colors, that's going to be your big difference. Okay, now, with as many, didn't mean to hit that yet, with as many portals in the area, you may want to try and sit there and go, you might be looking for a certain level because you might need to re-gear. One nice thing you can do is you have different options as far as your layering. So if you're not looking for any portals, you can sit there and you can really toggle what you're seeing. So if you don't want to see anything that's unclaimed, neutral, gonna check it. So now we're only seeing stuff that's captured. Okay. Say you're real low on the level 4 resonators. So you want to hit level 4 portals. There you go. We've quickly discovered a level 4 portal. And you can customize that however you'd like. Other options in here for layering is, okay, say we want to get rid of that field up here because it's making it hard to see and try and figure out what we're wanting to do. You can get rid of the field, very handy. And if you want to get rid of the links as well, you can do that. Now, the next on the line, you have to where you can disable a particular, if you don't want to see either your own faction or the opposing faction, you can do that as well. Debug data tiles is really not something that does anything for the standard user as far as I've been able to see. So it really doesn't have a benefit to a Niantic employee. I'm sure it probably is very nice, very handy, but to us, this information doesn't mean anything. So it's not really anything we'll be going over. You have artifacts down here, which an artifact is what they refer to as, a shard is an artifact. So if there's global shards, you can have that enabled and you can see where they're at. Or if there's an anomaly going on and you're just wanting to kind of watch the intel map for the anomaly, you can see it with there as well. Ornaments is going to be your goal portals and other various portals that'll be special used in anomalies. So that's what an ornament is. And it'll light those portals up in different colors for you depending on what their use will be. So go ahead and enable that stuff again. Now we'll come back down here, back into Old Town. And while it's loading up, we'll go ahead and show you the left menu real quick. You have info, which if you have a portal highlighted, which we do, it'll take you into the portal info and show you that. All is all comms. Faction is faction comms. An alert allows you to view your alerts as far as portals being attacked, portals neutralized, etc. But if we come down here, we can also, we've got this level 4 portal selected. We can come down here and actually click on the name. Because with the name, you can also see, before we actually go in and dive farther in there, you can see the portal level. You can see the percentage charge of it, the name, and you can also see the level of the resonators that are on it and how many resonators it has. Right above the name, it has the various colors. Down below each particular resonator, it shows you how much charge that resonator has. So let's go ahead and see if we can't find a different portal real quick that doesn't have quite as much of a charge. Okay, here we go. Now if we click, and you'll get these different messages throughout, which you can tell them not show again. And these are just kind of general default tips and stuff of that nature. Now the way we got into there was actually by just straight tapping on the name. Okay, now on the information screen, you have lots of stuff at your disposal. You have, at the top, you have your agent level, your agent name. You have then where you can sign out altogether. You have your current XM and your current percentage towards your next level. Down below, you then have the name of the portal, your portal picture, along with what level of portal it is. So basically, your standard Intel map information. Now, if we start coming down below, you then have your mods, your 4 mod slots. Shows you the owner. It'll show you how many links are going in, how many links are going out, along with the total links. You can get that information to appear by clicking on the out/in spot on there, and it'll bring that up. It'll then show you the current shielding, which this one we don't have any shields on here. We don't have any mods. So we'll have to pull up another portal so we can show that information here in just a minute. But the reason I pulled this one up here is if you go down and actually click on, I'm going to jump around just a little. If you click on a particular resonator, you can see the energy remaining of a single resonator. And you can see who that particular resonator is owned by, just the same as you could as far as ownership through the standard Ingress Intel map. So let's come over here to this one here that does have some links going into it. And we do have some mods on this one, as well as fully deployed, multiple agents. So now if we come down and look at the mods, we can click on the mods one by one, and it'll give us some good information about them. Of course, your general name of the mod, who installed it, and then it'll also give you information as far as how much mitigation that shield's going to do, and then it'll tell you the stickiness of that mod. And that's how well a mod will hang on when it's being attacked. How much more of a chance it has before it gets knocked off. So, and if we come down here, you can look at your shielding, and it'll tell you how much your total shielding is, how much is active, and then how much is excess. Along with your how much of that is from your standard shields, and how much of that is being added because there are links attached to the portal. And if we come back up here and look at the links that I showed earlier, now we actually have information in there. Now we come over here, we can look at AP gain, which is a feature I enjoy. It can tell you that there's friendly AP to be able to be gained from upgrading resonators on there. You can look at a portal and see how much AP you can get just from taking out that one portal. Which, if you're into the numbers of the game, can be kind of fun. But there's a lot of people who aren't into the numbers, and that's fine too. You can then see the current range that portal can reach. And if you click on that, you'll actually be able to, it'll take you out and show you the distance that portal can currently reach under its current configuration, which can be nice for planning. But we'll go back in. And you can look at the energy. And it'll show you the exact numbers. If you click on the energy, it'll show you the exact numbers of where the portal's sitting and what the maximum capacity of that portal is. If you're curious on a portal, the hacks you're allowed to get, it'll show you that. You can see how many hacks you can get. One that is modded with a multi-hack will show correctly, how many hacks you're going to get, cooldown time, and your burnout time. Which is nice if you're trying to manage your farming time, because maybe you're short on time, or you enjoy that gameplay. The bottom two are because are there with your 1.875 attack and your hit bonus are added with the turrets being on there. So that is not something you'll normally see on a portal. Down below, you can redeem a code in here. Share portal. So you want to sit there and send a specific portal to a friend, you can do it that way. Or if you need navigation to a portal, you can go locate, use Google Maps, Apple Maps, whatever, and then you can get turn-by-turn navigation to where you're wanting to go. Down below, you then have About iitc. We've already seen that. You then have regional scores. Just another way to check your scoreboard. You can see your top 3 agents. You're not able to see your top 50 agents from both sides like you are inside the map, so if you want to see that, you'll actually have to fire up your scanner. But you do get a detailed checkpoint scoreboard, and so you can actually go back and look at the scoreboards and see them alongside your standard graph. So, and as far as the general overview goes, that pretty much does it for our basic tutorial and overview of your basic functionality of iitc. This is Ingress Agent. I am Das Boot. Until next time.